Hi everyone, welcome to today's yoga practice. My name is Pilar and I will be taking you through today's yoga flow. I'm excited to be doing this first Yoga Lattes class with you. So for anyone that hasn't taken Yoga Lattes before, it's basically a mix of yoga and Pilates, just taking the mindfulness and body awareness aspects of yoga and mixing them with some Pilates exercises that help build a strong core, strong foundation in your body. Let's go ahead and get started. If you have a blanket, you can use that for any portion where we're kneeling, if that irritates your knees. So you can just fold up a blanket and place it underneath your knees. Otherwise, go ahead and find a standing position, just in the center of your mat. You don't have a mat, that's totally fine. You can just do it on the ground. So just finding a standing position and bringing your palms to prayer at heart center. And just allow your eyes to close here for a few minutes. Just tuning into your breath, bringing awareness to your body. And what that means is just noticing how your breath feels right now, how your body feels. Noticing the length and depth of your breath. Noticing if there's any tension in your body, just being aware of these things. And now taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today. And that can be anything. Maybe you want to call in energy for the week, starting off the day in a good note. Maybe calm, whatever it is, just really breathe that in for one more round of breath. And now open your eyes, slowly come back into the room and take a deep inhale as you sweep your hands up to prayer overhead, looking up towards your hands, and exhale your prayer to heart center. Lift your prayer up towards the ceiling and bring the arms down. Slightly bending the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up to prayer. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, lift your prayer. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the arms. Inhale, lift. And exhale, prayer to heart center. A few more times here, just bringing movement into the body. And matching your breath with your movements here. One more round here, and finishing with your prayer at heart center. Go ahead and release your arms down by your sides. Let them hang heavy. And start to swing your arms from side to side. So just allow your arms to be heavy. And look over your shoulders as you twist. Sorry, I'm just admitting some people from the waiting room here. And just really moving from your core here, keeping your lower body where it is. Just finding movement that feels good. Warming up the core, warming up the spine, waking them up. And now slowly coming back to stillness. Bring your feet so that they're about shoulders width apart. And your heels are slightly facing in, toes are slightly facing out. Take a deep inhale, sweep your arms up to prayer overhead. And exhale, lower down into your goddess pose. So bending at the knees, sweep the arms down. Inhale, press into your heels, sweep the arms up to prayer. And exhale down. Inhale, press into the heels, lift. Exhale, lower 2 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower 1 more time. Inhale as you lift. This time, reach your fingertips as wide as you can. All 10 fingertips coming into your star pose. So for your star pose, taking up as much room as you can, getting as long as you can. Now exhale as you cactus the arms and lower into your goddess pose. So just like your arms are making a goal post here, and lowering down into your squat, making sure all of your weight is on your heels. Hug your shoulder blades together behind you. Taking deep breaths here. Now start to sway from side to side, lifting your toes, straightening out one leg and then the other. Keeping the belly button pulled in towards the spine, really connecting to your core. And now slowly come back to the center and take a deep inhale as you lift your right heel high. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift the left heel high. Exhale, lower. Inhale back over to the right. Moving with your breath here a few more times on each side. Really lifting your heel nice and high, but staying low in your goddess pose. One more time in both sides. And now bring your hands to your thighs and take a deep inhale as you press away from your left thigh, look over your right shoulder. Take deep breaths here, really pressing away from that thigh. And now deep inhale as you press into your right thigh, look over your left shoulder. Take one more deep round of breath. And now come back up to a standing position. Bring your feet all the way together. And take an inhale as you sweep the hands up to prayer overhead. Interlace your fingers, releasing your pointer fingers. And exhale to bend towards the right. Coming into your half moon pose, really stretching through the left side body. If this is too much on the shoulders, you can always separate the arms a little bit more. Otherwise, really activate through the arms and hug your head with your biceps. Take one more full round of breath here. And now deep inhale as you come back up to center. And exhale as you bend over towards the left. Taking deep breaths and really creating length between your heel and your fingertips. A couple more rounds of breath. And deep inhale as you come back to center. Bring your hands to your back pockets. And take an inhale as you lift the chin, lift the chest. Hugging your shoulder blades together, bringing your elbows as close together as you can behind you. Coming into a nice little back bend here, focusing on lifting the chest. Take one more deep inhale, lift the chest. And exhale as you fold forward, tracing the back of your legs. And at the bottom, step your feet hips width apart. And grab for opposite elbows, sway heavy from side to side, coming into your ragdoll. Let go of the neck and head, and take a bend in the knees. So you can either just have a slight bend in the knees or a deep bend in the knees here. Taking deep, full breaths. Decompressing through the spine, really allow your spine to get as long as it can here. And now come back to center, release your hands down towards the mat. And walk your hands forward, coming into your downward facing dog. So for downward facing dog, pressing away from the mat, pressing your hips up and back, focusing on lengthening the spine. And your knees can have a deep bend here too. Whatever feels good to you. Start to pedal the heels. Just finding some movement in your downward facing dog. Shaking the head no, nodding the head yes. Releasing any tension through the neck. Now take one more deep inhale as you lift your heels nice and high. Exhale, lower your knees all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. And make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders here. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And take a deep inhale as you let the belly button fall, gaze forward and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Coming into your cow pose. As you exhale, press away from the earth, pull the belly button in, and allow your head to hang heavy. Deep inhale, let the belly button fall, gaze forward, lift the hips. And exhale, pull the belly button in, press away from the earth. A few more rounds here at your own pace. Just moving with your breath. And now slowly come back to that tabletop position. Again, if your knees bother you at all here, you can always place a blanket, a folded up blanket underneath your knees. Now taking a deep inhale, bring your right toes towards the back of your mat. So keeping your right leg nice and straight, but keeping your toes on the mat still. Now take an inhale as you lift your right heel nice and high. Keep your right leg straight. As you exhale, lower your knee back down to meet your left knee. Inhale, sweep your right heel high. And exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. A few more times here. So making sure that your right hip doesn't lift up when you lift your heel. Your hips stay facing the ground. 5 more here. Exhaling as you lift, inhale in. Last 3. Really engage through the back of your leg and your glute as you lift for 1 more. And now hold it with your leg lifted nice and high. You're gonna bend your right leg into a 90-degree angle and extend it. Bend it and extend it. So it's almost like you're doing a curl here with your leg, really creating your own resistance, and you should be using your glute and your hamstring to curl your leg in for 5 more. Point your toes as you extend your leg, flex your foot as you bend. For 2. And 1. Now keep your leg bent at that 90-degree angle and pulse your heel up towards the ceiling. For 10, 9, 8, breathing through it, really squeeze your glutes. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knee back down towards the earth and take a moment to just sway the hips from side to side. Reconnect with your breath. And now slowly come back to your tabletop position and extend your left leg long, keeping your toes down on the mat. Take an inhale as you lift your left leg high. Keep it nice and straight. Exhale to lower your left knee back down towards the earth. Inhale, lift your leg high. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep going here, making sure that the left hip doesn't lift up for 5 more sets. Make sure that your neck is neutral here, so your neck is right in line with the rest of your spine, not letting your head drop or not cranking it up to look forward. 1 more here. And now keep your leg lifted, go into those leg curls, flexing your foot as you bend your leg and extending your foot, pointing your toes. Bend and extend nice and slow here, really engaging those back muscles of the leg. We got 5 more here. Lift your leg nice and high, really feel that glute engaging. For the last 3, and 2, and 1. Now keep that leg bent at that 90-degree angle and pulse it up towards the ceiling for 10. Lifting that heel nice and high, keeping your foot flexed. Keep the belly button pulled in, nice strong core here for 3, 2, And 1. Bring that knee back down towards the earth. And now bring your knees to the outer edges of your mat. So your knees are a little bit further apart here, bringing your hands 1 palm forward. Take a deep inhale, lift the chest, shift your hips forward, lift the toes up. Gazing up towards the ceiling as you exhale, press yourself back into your child's pose. So bring your toes down and sink the hips back down towards your heels, lower the head. Take a deep inhale as you slowly round up through the spine, nice and slow. And lift the chest, lift the toes, hug your shoulder blades together. Exhale, press back into your child's pose. One more time, deep inhale, round up through the spine. And exhale, press back. Now hold it here in your child's pose for just a couple rounds of breath. Start to walk your fingertips over towards the left, getting a nice stretch through the right side of your body, keeping your right hip down towards the earth and sinking your head down into the earth. And now slowly walk your fingertips over towards the right, feeling that nice stretch through the left side body, keeping the left hip down towards the earth. And now slowly come back to the center and press yourself back up into that tabletop position. And really ground your fingertips into the earth. Tuck your toes in. Inhale, lift your hips up and back. Come back into your downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to just take any movement that feels good to you. Pedaling the heels, shaking the head. Now inhale as you lift your hips up a little bit higher. Exhale as you bring your feet to the top of your mat. So step to the top of your mat. Keep your feet hips width apart. And take an inhale to halfway lift. Lengthen the spine. And exhale as you forward fold. Now deep inhale as you sweep your hands up towards the ceiling. Keep them shoulders width apart. And exhale as you sit back into your chair for chair pose. Taking a few rounds of breath here, make sure that the belly button is pulled in towards the spine and slightly tilt the pelvis forward here. So really engaging through your core. If this is too much on the arms, you can bring the arms straight ahead, making sure to hug your shoulder blades together. And just look down at your feet for a moment. Make sure that they're parallel and hips width apart. And now really shift all of your weight into your heels. Make sure you can wiggle all 10 toes. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. And now you're going to take a deep inhale as you bring your elbows right by your sides, bending the arms. And really engage through the triceps as you do this. Hug the shoulder blades together. Now shift all of your weight onto your left foot. And exhale as you step your right leg back. And you're going to lengthen your arms. So lengthening your right leg, lengthening your arms. And exhale, bring it back to center. Hug the shoulder blades together, engage through the triceps. Deep inhale, extend, step back, lengthen the arms. And exhale, bring it back into center. Inhale, extend. And exhale, back in. Keep breathing through it here, looking straight ahead, keeping the neck nice and neutral. And really moving with intention here, getting as long as you can. And then bringing it all back in. 5 more here. Good. Keep breathing through it. Here we go, 3 more, lengthen and squeeze everything in. Last 2. You should really be feeling that left leg working here. 1 more. And this time, lengthen, step your right foot back, keep it there, and bring your shoulders over your hips. So nice long spine here coming into your high lunge. And make sure here that you're pressing into your front heel, really engaging through both legs. Now taking a deep inhale, straighten out the legs, sweep your arms down and back. Inhale back down, and exhale, sweep the arms down and back, straighten the legs. Inhale down, and exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Moving nice and slow here, moving with intention for 5 more sets. And if this is too much on the knees, you can just hold the high lunge. You don't need to lower and lift, doing whatever feels best on your body. 1 more here. And now holding it in your high lunge, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your back toes to face the right side of the room. So your feet are perpendicular to each other. And reach both arms out to the sides, looking over your left fingertips, coming into your warrior 2. Still staying low in that lunge and making sure that your front knee doesn't cave in. So keeping an outer rotation to your front knee. Take a few rounds of breath here, making sure that the shoulders are still stacked over the hips, and hug your shoulder blades together. 1 more full round of breath. And now taking a deep inhale, bring your left forearms down to your left thigh and reach your right hand high, looking up at your right hand. If that's too much on your neck, you can always look down towards your left foot. And making sure to press away from your thigh, not sinking into your left shoulder. Now take a deep inhale, sweep your right hand back to your leg. Reach your left hand up and over, coming into your dancing warrior. Melting your right shoulder down. One more deep inhale. And now a few times of just flowing back and forth, bringing your forearm down to your thigh, reach your right hand high. Exhale, bring your right hand back, sweep your left hand up and over. And bring your forearm back down to your thigh, reach your right hand high. Exhale, sweep your right hand back, left arm reaches up and over. This time when you exhale, cartwheel your arms down to the mat, framing your foot with your hands, and step your left foot back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here to find any movement that feels good to you. Maybe grab some water. You're always welcome to take a break if you need it. Now take 1 more deep inhale, sweep your hips nice and high, and exhale to step to the top of your mat. Make sure that your feet are parallel here and hips width apart. And take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, bring your hands to your shins, and exhale to forward fold. Now take a deep inhale, sweep the hands up towards the ceiling. Keep your arms shoulders width apart, and exhale back down into your chair pose. So really engage through the core here, pull the belly button in. Keep your center nice and strong. A few more rounds of breath here, maybe getting a little bit lower, making sure that your knees are in line with your toes. So your knees shouldn't be caving in or spreading out, keeping your knees right in line with those toes. And now start to shift all of your weight onto your right foot as you bring your elbows in by your sides, almost like you're holding two plates on your hands. Really engage through your back body, hug your shoulder blades together. And now inhale as you step your left foot back, extend the arms, and exhale, come back to center. Inhale, extend, and exhale, bring everything in. Keep going here, moving nice and slow. Really thinking about your body here, bringing your awareness to how your body feels here, where you want to engage, and where you want to disengage. So engaging through the triceps, engaging the core, engaging your leg, but disengaging through the neck, releasing tension through the neck, releasing tension in the face. 3 more sets here. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, bring it in for 1 more. And now inhale as you extend and bring your shoulders on top of your hips, coming into your high lunge, reaching your fingertips up towards the sky. Pull the belly button in. Take 1 round of breath here. And again, you're welcome to hold it here, or you can extend the legs, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, lower back into your lunge. Exhale, extend the legs, sweep the arms back. And exhale, extend. Keep going here, moving with your breath. Really pressing into your front heel as you lift, keeping pressure off of your knee. 5 more sets here. And keeping that core nice and strong is going to help you stay balanced here as well for 2 more. And now come back into your high lunge and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your left toes to face the left side of the room, bringing your heel down to the mat. Sweep your arms out to the sides and gaze over your right fingertips, coming into your warrior 2. Hug your shoulder blades together and make sure you're centered here, keeping your shoulders right over your hips. Take a few rounds of breath, really tuning into your warrior 2, pressing into your front heel and pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. 1 more full round of breath. And now bring your right forearm down to your thigh. Reach your left hand nice and high, opening the chest. Really breathing into the areas that need it the most here. The chest. Press away from your thigh. Don't sink into your shoulder. And take an inhale now as you sweep your left hand back to your leg. Reach your right hand up and over. Still staying low in that lunge. 1 more deep round of breath here. And then we're going to flow back and forth between our triangle pose and our dancing warrior. Take a deep inhale. Bring your forearm down to your thigh. Reach your left hand high. Exhale. Sweep your left hand back. Reach your right arm up and over. Bring your right forearm back to your thigh, reach your left hand high, and exhale your left hand back, right arm up and over. 1 more time, bring your forearm down, reach your left hand high, and exhale, sweep your right hand up and back. And now cartwheel your arms down to the mat, step back into your downward facing dog. Pedal the heels here, shake out the head, or grab some water. Take whatever movement feels good. Now take one more deep inhale as you lift your hips up and back a little bit higher. As you exhale, lower down to your knees, coming all the way almost down to your mat, and then hovering over your mat. Take a moment here, really pull the belly button in, press away from your mat. 3 more deep rounds of breath, pressing away from the earth a little bit more on each exhale, pulling the belly button in more on the inhales. Now 1 more deep inhale, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. And exhale as you lower your knees all the way down onto the mat this time. Reach your hands forward and melt your heart down towards the mat, coming into your puppy pose. Let the forehead come all the way down to the mat here and really allow your upper body to melt onto the mat. As you inhale, it's the same concept as downward facing dog, where you're lengthening the spine, reaching your fingertips forward and lifting the hips high. And if it's too much on the shoulders, you can always spread your arms a little bit further apart. One more deep round of breath here. And now start to slowly press yourself up to a kneeling position. And once you're in your kneeling position, extend your left leg out to the side. And inhale as you sweep your arms out to the sides. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the earth. Reach your left hand high. And you can either look up towards your fingertips or down here. You can even look straight ahead, whatever feels best on your neck. Really focusing on creating space here, opening up the chest, opening up your hips, and reaching as high as you can, pushing away from the earth. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. And now you're gonna lift from your core. So pull the belly button in and reach your left hand over to your leg. Reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, creating a nice long line from your knee all the way to your fingertips. And then exhale as you reach over towards the left. Really feeling that nice stretch in the right side of the body. Keeping your left leg nice and long to the side. Take 1 more deep inhale here. And exhale as you lower your arm back down. Lower your knee back down towards the earth. And now extend your right leg to the side. Inhale, sweep your arms out. And exhale as you bring your left hand down to the mat. Reach your right hand high. Taking deep breaths, pressing away from the earth. Keep the belly button pulled in for 1 more round of breath. And now use your core strength to bring your right hand down to your leg. Reach your left hand nice and high first. So first reach towards the ceiling. Feeling that stretch all through the side, all the way from your knee, through your hip, up towards your fingertips. And exhale as you reach towards the right. Take a couple more rounds of breath. One more deep inhale here. And now exhale as you lower your arm, lower your knee back down. And now interlace your fingers together behind you and take a deep inhale as you lift your chest, lift your chin. Hugging your shoulder blades together, opening the chest. Really breathing into your chest here, deep inhales. And now slowly start to come back up to center. Release the arms down by your sides and lower your hips all the way down onto your heels. Now melt your upper body over your thighs. Release your forehead all the way down to the mat. And allow the arms to be heavy here. So doing the opposite of what we just did with the back arching. Here we're extending the spine and really letting go of your back, allowing gravity to bring that nice deep stretch to your spine. Take one more deep round of breath. And now slowly press yourself back up to a seated position. And bring your legs out from underneath you. Planting your feet at the top of your mat, keeping your knees bent here. And there's a few different ways you can do this exercise. The intermediate level, I guess, would be to put your hands directly behind you and lift your feet off of the mat, bringing them up to a tabletop position. And as you inhale, you're going to extend the legs. As you exhale, you're going to crunch everything in. You're going to inhale and exhale. If you'd like, you can keep one leg down on the mat and just do one leg for 5 sets and then move to the other leg. So whichever modification you want to take, go ahead and bring your hands directly behind you, lift the legs or leg up to tabletop. You're going to inhale as you extend the legs. Exhale, crunch everything in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. For 10 sets here. If you're doing one leg, do 5 sets on one leg, 5 sets on the other. Almost there. 5 more here. Exhaling each time you crunch in. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Bring your feet back down to the earth. Lift yourself back up and just allow your knees to fall from side to side. Really massaging the hips here. And now allow both of your knees to fall towards the left and bring your feet in a little bit closer towards you so that your left foot is on your right thigh. And take an inhale, lift your right arm nice and long. Exhale as you bring your right hand to your left knee and twist. Making sure to keep your spine nice and long and either staying here in this twist or take an inhale as you lift your hips up, reach your right hand back, feeling a nice deep stretch through the front side of your body, lifting up through your hips. One more deep inhale and exhale as you lower back down. Everyone come back to center. Bring your feet back to the center of your mat and sway the knees from side to side. And now allow both knees to fall towards the right. And bring your feet in a little bit closer so that your right foot is on your left thigh now. And take an inhale to sweep your left hand high. Exhale as you reach for your right knee, twist towards the right. Keep your spine nice and long, nice and centered. And not cranking yourself too much here. You want this twist to feel good on your spine. And either holding it here or taking an inhale as you lift your hips forward, reach your left hand up and down. Pressing away from the earth for one more deep inhale, lift the hips. And exhale as you lower everything back down to the earth. Now bring your feet back to the top of your mat. And you can either Grab for the back of your thighs or place your hands behind you. You're going to take an inhale as you lift the chest, lift your gaze. As you exhale, pull the belly button in, start to tilt your pelvis forward as slowly as you can, really articulating through the spine. We're going to be lowering all the way down onto your mat, as slow as you can, and then let it go. Coming all the way down onto your mat, bring the arms long by your sides, and bring your heels in to where they're almost touching your fingertips. So you want about one palm between your bottom and your heels. Now taking a deep inhale, press into your heels, lift your hips high, push your knees forward. Once you're at the top, shimmy your shoulder blades together a little bit more. And exhale as you slowly lower, first lowering the upper back, then lowering the middle back, slowly melting the pelvis and hips back down onto the mat. So take a deep inhale, press into your heels, lift the hips high, and exhale, slowly lower down. So we're going to be lifting up for 1 count and lowering down for 5. Take a deep inhale, lift the hips high, and lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 more sets here. Deep inhale, press into your heels, lift the hips high, and exhale, slowly lower for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here. Inhale, lift the hips as high as you can, press the knees forward, and exhale to slowly lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Now bring both of your legs up to a tabletop position. And take a moment to make sure that the knees are stacked over the hips. So you don't want them too far in or too far out. And now take a deep inhale. Really let your belly expand. As you exhale, melt your back onto the mat. Pull the belly button in. So trying to press your whole back into the mat. And you're going to keep it this way the entire time. Now bring your right hand to your right knee and extend your left arm and left leg. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to switch. Bring your left hand to your left knee, extend the right arm and right leg. Exhale, switch. Moving nice and slow and keeping your focus on your core, keeping your back pressed into the mat. A few more times here. Exhale, bringing it in. Exhale as you switch. One more time on each side. And now hug your knees in towards your chest and rock from side to side. Massaging your low back. Now allow your knees to fall towards the left as you extend your right arm and look towards your right hand. Coming into a full body twist, making sure to keep your right shoulder melted down towards the mat. You're really breathing into that right side of your chest, allowing your legs to fall naturally. So just let them land wherever they're at. Make sure to not pull them down. Now take a deep inhale, hug your knees back in towards your chest, and exhale, allow them to fall towards the right. Extend your left arm and look towards your left hand. Really breathe into that left side of the chest, now melting your left shoulder down as you exhale. One more full round of breath here. And now inhale, hug your knees in towards your chest, rock from side to side once more. And now roll onto whichever side is your favorite and press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And now bring your hands up on your knees for energy, for receiving good energy for the day. And allow your eyes to close. Taking a moment to come back to your intention that you set at the beginning of class. Really breathing in all the benefits of just taking this time for yourself, for your body to move and reconnect with your breath. Now bring your palms together at heart center. Namaste.